Good morning, Caleb. Here's your machine, the Breville dual boiler BES920 in black. So as you saw in the photos, it's in good condition. Some light wear and tear, especially around here, around the drip tray. A little bit here, but generally in good condition, I would say. I would give it a 7 out of 10. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating the machine making a double shot latte. So pretty much showing you all the functions and giving you a few tips and tricks. So the machine is up to temperature now. Usually it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to turn on. You can set it to wake up in the morning for you at a specified time. For me it's 8 a.m. Usually by the time, by about 10 or 20 minutes, the machine is like very hot and ready to go. If you just turn it on and it reaches temperature and you want to go straight away, you can run a blank shot. So that's a press of one of the buttons to run hot water through the system just to warm things up. Mainly it's the group head, the portafilter and your cup. You want those to be nice and hot for the espresso to come into. So we'll do that now. This will also clean any oils or coffee grounds that are in the shower screen, so I think it's a good step. Very good. You can do this once or twice, up to you. So after you do this, you want to take out the portafilter and dry the basket itself. So this is the double basket here. It takes about 18 to 20 grams of coffee. So I'm going to be dosing 19 grams into it using my grinder. You want to use freshly ground coffee for best results. If you can only get, in your area, if you can only get pre-ground coffee, I recommend investing in the dual wall baskets. Those ones will work with the beans that you can buy from the supermarket, the pre-ground ones. Whereas if you're grinding fresh beans using a grinder at home, you should be good to go. So you can use the scale to measure the quantity going into the basket. So in this case, like I said, I'm going to be aiming for 19 grams. Tear the scale and lock it in. Perfect, that's 19 grams. Yep, exactly 19. So before tapping the coffee, you want to just try to flatten it with your palm or with your fingers. You want to be pressing on an even surface approximately, so this will make things more even. Press it down nice and firm. Just make sure you're consistent with your tapping between shots so you can get similar results. If you don't feel like using a scale or if you're in a rush, you can just look at the tamper and check the depth. Usually about the depth of the tamper is where you want to be at. So this is, as you saw, 19 grams, and the depth of the tamper goes this deep. So as you see, the silver part, that's a nice trick you can use. This is what it looks like from the side, about maybe a centimeter from the edge. Clean the edges here and lock it in. So you don't have to push it all the way to the right. Actually, you don't. It doesn't let you. It's quite tight. So I'd only lock it to dead center. So right about here, that's more than enough pressure to keep the portafilter in place and prevent any spillages. You don't want to be forcing it to the right. here's my cup. I'm gonna drain this water, and I forgot to mention, if you want hot water, you can also use the hot water tap here, of course. You can use that for maybe brewing some tea or making a long black coffee, which is what it's for. I'm just using it to mix my sugar. Great. So I'm going to aim for a doubling the output. So that means 19 grams in, 38 grams out. I want it to be in that ballpark. That's how I usually get a good coffee. So I'm going to use the scale again. And as you remember, this is a double shot, so I'm going to be pressing the double button. And of course, being a dew boiler, you could be making coffee and steaming simultaneously, but I'm going to be doing them separately in this video just to make things more easy to understand. Double button. You want to pay attention to two things: the timing of the coffee, so like the flow, how quick it is, and the pressure. The pressure is a nice steady 9 bars. The flow is nice and smooth. It is a little bit quicker than I was hoping, so I might have to stop it early. Right about there, 22 seconds. So not too bad. Usually 20 to 30 seconds is alright. Let's see. We got 45 grams, so it's a bit more than I was hoping. In this case, I would grind finer on my grinder. That's how I can slow down that pour. And I might actually do that now. So depending on what grinder you have, you want to make it go finer, but only change it when the grinder is grinding. That would be safer for the grinder. Great. Yeah, so that's espresso. When you're done with your shot, take out the portafilter and knock it off straight away. You can use a knockbox or just any bin that you can put next to the coffee machine, and rinse it. So do another blank shot. Just a few seconds. So that's the espresso shot. Let's pour some milk. And the jug you get, whatever jug you get, you want it to be about halfway, and you want a steel jug. You can get glass jugs if you want, I'm not sure why, but steel jugs are the standard, and they're good because you can feel the temperature through them. Purge the wand, just to get rid of any water. And just a quick note on the steam wand. When you first turn on the machine, and when you turn off the machine after a while, you might get some water drops from the steam wand. That's normal, that's just the steam tap, the valve, expanding and loosening via heat. So as you see now, it's perfectly fine. It's not giving me any trouble. Only when you first turn it on and as the machine warms up, it may drip a little bit. So what I do, I just put it on the drip tray, so any water just goes onto the drip tray, as opposed to the counter. So that's just one thing to be aware of if you want to keep your counter nice and clean. I'm going to put the wand at an angle. I'm not sure if you've done this before, but it's you need to learn the technique. It's not particularly hard. You just want to keep the wand at an angle to the milk and try to keep spinning it in a circle inside the jug. And the closer you keep the tip the surface, the more air you'll be getting in your milk. So I'm gonna aim for a smooth latte texture. So I'm gonna keep it close to the surface. You want to be listening to this noise. That's the noise you want to be hearing. And when you can't touch the jug for too long, turn off the wine straight away. And also very important is to purge it afterwards. So after you're done with steaming, just purge to clean the insides. And grab a wet towel, wipe it off straight away. Very good. And that's pretty much all you need to do to get a latte out of the Breville Dew boiler. When you're done, just knock the jug on the counter to break any air bubbles. Swirl it around to mix it up. Do this a couple times, or as many times as you would like, until you get the texture to a very smooth, almost like wet paint texture. There we go. Very nice. With some practice, you can get latte art with these machines. Not particularly hard. So yeah, the milk is really smooth, so if you wanted to, you can just practice and get some fancy textures and patterns around here. But this is the final result. Very smooth, very nice looking. Anyway, that's the Breville Dew boiler. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Thanks.